I was very sad when I saw these incidents. And as a retired military officer, you know, your arm is my alma mater virtually. And the kind of discipline that we had and the kind of training we had, you would never have seen someone just because you have a weapon, you can shoot people as if you are shooting animals. And animals also, they even have rights. We have animal rights. And I think it was a disgrace to the armed forces.
Retired military officer Captain Joel So, who says the actions of military officers are unacceptable, described the recent onslaught on civilians as unhealthy for the country. Over the last few days, some civilians have been killed, others injured, and many put in fear as a result of military brutalities. In Ejura in the Ashanti region on Tuesday, June 29, some residents who started a street protest to demand justice for Ibrahim Mohammed, popularly called Kaka, who was killed by unknown assailants, were confronted by armed police and military personnel. This led to the death of 2 persons who were said to have been shot by some soldiers. Many others sustained injuries. Kaka was killed in the early hours of Saturday, June 26, in front of his house. He was said to be returning home on his motorbike when the attack occurred. He died the following day while on admission at the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. A public inquiry has subsequently been instituted into the disturbances. 2 days after, a viral video on social media showed some armed military officers brutalizing some residents of Wa in the Upper West region over an alleged missing phone. The military personnel stormed streets, beating everyone on sight. The public relations officer of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, Cletus Awini, was also beaten up when he attempted to intervene. A local journalist caught the action on tape.
Nana, how? Thank God we are taking short of us. How? And so you just have to brutalize this person like this without even telling him the reason why you are even assaulting him. This is unacceptable. How?
Many have raised concerns about the recent involvement of the army in civilian affairs, citing the military invasion of Parliament on the inauguration night of the 8th Parliament as a case in point. Retired Captain So says it is unhealthy for citizens to be familiar with military men. According to him, the growing familiarity can lead to contempt.
We have to look at the political situation now. Parliament will have to come in if there are any laws to be enacted to keep the military in the barracks. And that, like I said, it should be in only an extreme situation before you can ask the military to come. Because you say there is a balance that says that familiarity brings contempt. You remember at Champon's time, where Makula women were throwing water and insulting soldiers because they were in town and they became familiar with them, and therefore they feared them no more. The shooting at Wa, the people were not moving. They were not afraid because they were now getting used to firing. So they say the worst you can do is to kill me, but I'll still do what I want to do. And we don't want to find ourselves in that situation.
Emmanuel Cotton, a security analyst, believes it is a bigger problem if the police are replaced by the military to maintain order among civilians.
To borrow the words of a very good philosopher, William Adama, he said there's a good reason why the military is separate from the police. While the military are trained to fight the enemy of the state, the police are trained to preserve and protect the citizens. So when the military becomes both, they see the people as the enemies of the state. And that is what we are seeing these days. And this is what we have to dispassionately look at and limit the involvement of military in civilian issues that police can easily handle. If we don't have enough men from the police side, let's recruit. If it's training, let's give them. If it is warfare, why not? Let's give them. Because they are always at the front, putting their life at risk for me and you. And I think it would be disgraceful for any professional police person to feel that he's more comfortable when the military is leading and he's behind, like we saw in Ejra. It's a dent in the professionalism of the institution of the police, and I think they need to wake up.
Mr. Cotton has, in reference to the death of Ibrahim Mohammed, advised civilians to safeguard their individual peace by avoiding the politicization of every situation.
We, the youth, we have a lot of work to do. We don't need to follow the political elites because they are almost done with their life, and whatever mess they leave, who will come and inherit that? So we have to have the perspective of thinking generationally, you understand, and not looking at what we can benefit today. And that is what we are missing as a country. And we politicize everything in this country. Security has not got color. When there's insecurity and people are being maimed and killed, will you be able to decipher who is an NPP, who is an NDC? But when security situations come, then politicians jump to the front, trying to get political capital out of it. And the substance of the matter is lost.